You just finished a plate of food. Within minutes, your body starts tearing it apart, molecule by molecule. But where does it actually go from here? And how does your body decide what becomes energy, what gets stored, and what gets thrown away? Every meal you eat gets broken into three main building blocks: carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Each one takes a completely different path through your body. Different enzymes, different destinations, different jobs entirely. Let's start with the fastest one.
The moment you start chewing a piece of bread, an enzyme in your saliva called amylase starts breaking the starch down into sugar chains. That's actually why bread tastes a little sweet if you chew it long enough. Try it later, you'll notice it. The sugar is literally being released in your mouth. Once it reaches your small intestine, more amylase, this time from your pancreas, finishes the job, breaking carbohydrates all the way down into simple sugars, mostly glucose. That glucose gets absorbed straight into your bloodstream. And this is the exact moment your blood sugar rises. Your pancreas notices, and it releases a hormone you've definitely heard of: insulin. Think of insulin like a key. It unlocks your cells so glucose can get in, either used immediately for energy or stored as glycogen in your liver and muscles for later. If your glycogen storage is already full, your liver doesn't just shrug and stop. It converts that extra glucose into fat, a process called lipogenesis. So the next time someone says fat makes you fat, it's more complicated than that. Eating more carbs than your body needs, consistently, does the exact same thing.
Protein takes a slower path. It starts in your stomach, where an enzyme called pepsin, activated by stomach acid, starts breaking protein into smaller chains called peptides. In your small intestine, more enzymes from your pancreas, trypsin and chymotrypsin, keep breaking those chains down, further and further, until protein is reduced to its most basic form: amino acids. Those amino acids get absorbed into your blood and sent first to your liver, which acts like a sorting station. From there, they're distributed to rebuild muscle, produce enzymes, create hormones, repair damaged cells. Here's what makes protein genuinely different. Your body doesn't stockpile amino acids the way it stockpiles glycogen or fat. If you eat more protein than your body needs for repair right in that moment, your liver strips off part of it in a process called deamination and either burns the rest for energy or, yes, converts it to fat too, if you're already full up on energy. And this is exactly why a high-protein meal keeps you fuller longer than a plate of pasta.
If that just answered a question you've had for years, hit subscribe right now. Because what's coming next explains fat, the macro everyone's terrified of. And I promise you, it works nothing like you think it does.
Fat digestion barely even starts in your stomach. It really begins in your small intestine, where your liver and gallbladder release something called bile. Bile isn't an enzyme, it's an emulsifier. Its job is to break big fat globules into smaller droplets. Once fat is broken up like that, an enzyme called lipase splits it into fatty acids and glycerol. Those get absorbed and reassembled into little transport packages called chylomicrons. And here's something most people don't know. Fat is the only macronutrient that skips your liver on its first trip through the body. It travels through your lymphatic system first. From there, some fat gets burned immediately. Your muscles and heart actually prefer fat as fuel at rest. But during high-intensity exercise, muscles rely more on carbohydrate. And the rest gets stored in fat cells for later. And contrary to what you've probably heard, that storage process isn't the enemy. It's literally your body's design for surviving when food isn't available. The real problem only shows up when you're consistently taking in more energy than you're using, no matter which macro it came from.
So here's what actually matters: Practically. Carbohydrates generally raise blood glucose, which stimulates insulin release and gets stored fast if unused, which is why portion and timing matter more than just labeling carbs bad. Protein isn't stored like carbs and fat, which is exactly why spreading your intake through the day matters more than one giant serving at dinner. Fat digestion is slow and steady, which is part of why a fat-containing meal keeps you full for hours. And ultimately, all three roads lead to the same place, which is why total energy balance matters more than demonizing any single macronutrient. Next time you sit down to eat, you'll actually know what's happening in real time. From the amylase in your saliva to the ATP powering the exact thought you're having right now. If this changed the way you think about food, subscribe. Because every week we release health-related videos to keep you healthy and well-informed. Drop a comment. Which macronutrient surprised you the most? I read every single one. See you in the next video.